Hard seasons don't just test your patience, they reveal who you really are. Are you a man who confidently relies on God no matter what life throws at you? Or do you crumble under pressure? Think through a typical week. How often do you snap at your kids when they won't listen? Scroll through your phone to avoid a tough conversation with your wife, or put off making a critical decision at work because it feels easier than facing it. Sound familiar? It happens to all of us. Life is full of stressful situations. There's the pressure of, providing financially, meeting deadlines, and, still showing up for your family. The exhaustion of juggling chores, school pickups, and household responsibilities that never end. Conflict with your spouse, arguments with the kids, or moments when you feel like you're failing as a husband or father or friend. Then there are the hidden burdens, the unresolved mistakes from your past, the silent expectation to have it all together, the fear of letting others down, or the constant comparison to other men who seem to have it all. All of this adds up. And, without realizing it, you start shrinking back, taking the easy way or retreating into distraction. But it doesn't have to be this way. One of the most freeing truths in Scripture is found in 2 Corinthians 12:9, where God tells us, "My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness." This verse flips the world's idea of strength on its head. God doesn't ask us or expect us to muster up perfect courage or to have it all together. In fact, He delights in showing up where we fall short. It's a good thing that we can't do it all. Our limitations, failures, and insecurities aren't obstacles, they're opportunities. When we finally admit we can't handle everything on our own, we open up the door for God to step in. His grace meets us in our weakness. His power works through our shortcomings, and His wisdom fills the gap where we fall short. No matter how much you think you can accomplish on your own, it's nothing compared to what you can accomplish when you step out of the way and let God work through you. So why rely only on your own strength? When God is ready to produce lasting fruit and bring about outcomes you could never achieve alone. This is why Paul could say, "When I am weak, then I am strong," because he wasn't relying on his own strength, but on God's. You don't have to have all the answers, the perfect plan, or flawless discipline. God doesn't ask or expect this from you. You just need to lean into Him, take the next step, and let His power carry you forward. Here's what it looks like practically speaking. 1, pray for daily strength and perspective. Prayer is your lifeline in hard seasons. Ask God for courage to endure the day, for clarity to see His work amid chaos, and for patience to respond rather than react. Lean into scriptures like 2 Corinthians 12:9, which reminds us that God's grace is sufficient for you, for His power is made perfect in weakness. Courage isn't about having it all together. It's about relying on God when you can't. Each morning, take a moment to give the day to Him and ask for guidance for the moments you can't see yet. Number 2, ask God for His wisdom. When life feels confusing or overwhelming, courage doesn't mean figuring it out on your own. It means going to the source of true wisdom. James 1:5 tells us, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." God isn't stingy with wisdom. He's eager to guide His sons. Instead of reacting in fear or frustration, pause and ask Him, "Lord, what would you have me do here?" His perspective brings clarity, strength, and courage to move forward with confidence. Once you have clarity on the next steps, God may be calling you to do today, you can make a plan to move forward with intention. Number 3, fix what you can. While there are probably several aspects about your life you can't change right now, focus on what you can. What small tweaks can you make starting today to ease the pressure and set yourself up for success? Maybe you need to set aside 15 minutes of focused time with your kids before they start acting up. You need to remove a few unnecessary tasks from your schedule, or you need to address a reoccurring work conflict before it spirals. These small adjustments won't fix the entire situation, but they can give you enough margin to start making more intentional actions. Number 4, engage your support network strategically. When life is chaotic, isolation is dangerous. Identify trusted men in your life, friends, mentors, or accountability partners who can speak truth, offer guidance, and act as guardrails so you don't give in to the temptation to do something you'll regret. Open up and tell them what your life is really like. Share your real struggles, not just the surface level frustrations. Be specific about what's overwhelming you, your doubts, fears, and the pressure you feel. Honest conversations remind you that you're not facing this alone. And hearing how others have persevered can give you the strength to keep going. Number 5, celebrate small wins. When life is chaotic and you're struggling to show up, it's important to take the time to recognize the small wins you do have. Maybe you stayed calm during a stressful conversation, initiated a meaningful conversation with your spouse, or simply made it through the day without losing hope. These victories might seem minor, but they build momentum. Courage grows when you acknowledge progress, not perfection. Each small win is evidence that you can navigate hard seasons with integrity and perseverance. Number 6, give yourself grace. Hard seasons are exhausting. You won't do everything perfectly, and that's okay. Courage doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. Ask God for the strength to do your best and leave the results to Him. Someday you'll stumble, forget, or fall short. But that doesn't mean you failed. What matters is getting back up, trusting God's mercy, and pressing forward again. Remember, His grace fills the gaps where your strength runs out. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Give yourself permission to be human, but stay committed to walking faithfully one step at a time. That's real lasting courage. In every chaotic season, courage isn't a feeling, it's a choice. So here's your challenge today. Take a few minutes to identify one pressure point in your life that's been wearing you down. Write it down and ask God for clarity and courage to face it. Then pick one small, practical step you can take this week to move forward. Whether it's having a hard conversation, setting a boundary, or asking for help, don't try to fix everything at once. Just take the next step. Trust God with this step and the one still ahead. As you move forward in faith, you'll see courage grow even in the middle of chaos. Finally, if this episode encouraged you, be sure to subscribe to the Courageous Men podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a friend or coworker who you think this would also encourage, share it with them as well. Thank you for showing up and choosing to grow. I'm honored to walk this journey with you. I cannot wait to see the courageous step God will lead you to take. Join the Courageous Men community today.